Hello and thanks for joining me on today's lesson. This is a special lesson. This is probably your first lesson ever on the accordion.
As you can see, one side of the accordion has a familiar piano keyboard, while the other side features buttons that may seem unfamiliar. Since the keyboard is easier to understand, let's first break down the button side for you. The buttons are divided into 4 main rows. The first 2 rows produce single bass notes, while the third and fourth rows play chord combinations. Chords sound fuller than single bass notes because they combine multiple notes together. The third row has major chords, which sound happy. The fourth row has minor chords, which have a slightly sad or melancholic tone. The second row has root bass notes, which are the main single notes of each chord. The first row has additional bass notes, useful for advanced players. The buttons are played with the left hand, and the keyboard is played with the right hand. Just like a piano, each note has a name. Let's learn the Italian names used by Gypsy musicians. Explore the full courses on our website, www.gypsyaccordion.com. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. In America, they are called A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, but don't get confused. The letter A represents the note La. In that sense, the note Do is known in America as the letter C. The measured distance between a low note to the higher note is called 1 octave. The notes Do, Re, Mi are found between the 2 black keys, while the notes Fa, Sol, La, Si are found between the 3 black keys. This pattern repeats across the keyboard, creating octave jumps. Let's start with some left-hand practice, beginning with the major chord. Place your third finger on the C button and your second finger on the C major chord button next to it. You can easily recognize the C button. It's in the middle of the button system and marked for guidance. Below the C major button, you will find the F bass and the F major button. Use the same fingers to play them together at the same time. Above the C bass, you will find the G bass and the G major button. Use the same fingers to play them together. In this same way, you can play all the major bass buttons and major chords together. The next one above is D major. After that, we have the A major. And after that, we have another marked button, that is the E major. Let's play the C bass button again, but this time we'll play it with the fourth finger. Let's add the second finger to play the minor chord. Now press them together at the same time. In this manner, you can now play all the bass notes and the minor chords together at the same time. Finding your way around scales unlocks practical theory, giving a deeper meaning for improvisation, chord progressions, and composition. Each scale contains different types of chords used in a composition. Some pieces have just 2 chords, while others have 3 or more. Let's take the simple Do-Re-Mi scale as an example. These 8 notes can create 4 different chords: C major, D minor, E minor, and F major. When we continue this scale, we get G major and A minor. These chords can shape a composition that suits any melody or improvisation within the simple Do-Re-Mi scale known as the C major scale. We will now focus on the first 6 chords and find them on the accordion. C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, and A minor. Check the attached PDF for this free course. Observe where each chord is placed, study it closely, and remember it forever. Now, experiment with these 6 chords, switching between them and pressing each with both fingers at the same time. Next, take the right hand and try different melodies within the scale. Start with just the right hand, then play with both hands together. So here is your first improvisation exercise. Try this every morning. Just jam and create magic.
So this is a bass row that we don't use right now. And this is the second bass row. And you'll find the marked button in the middle. So we're going to take the fourth finger and put it on the button. Okay, inside the belt. So we're going to start with C. Here we go. Let's listen to that. Okay, now we take the same finger and go up one step, one button up. This is the G button. Then we go up another one. That's the D button. Then we go up another one. That's the A button. And then we go up another one. That's the E button. In many accordions, the E button is marked. If yours is not marked, you may consider putting some super glue, or there's another trick by burning it with the lighter that makes a mark. Okay, so those are tricks for learning how to recognize this button without needing to look. Okay, you have to feel the buttons. So now we're going to add some fingerings on the chord button, which is next to each bass button. So we're going to start with the C. I'm going to add the third finger and press them together. So that's a C chord. Yeah. Now let's play around with it. Very important advice, tip and trick, to do this short and bouncy and strong like a hammer. You can also create your own rhythm. You can create like melodies. Great, so now we go one button up. From the C chord, we go up one step, so both fingers go up, the fourth and the third go up one position, and that's the G, bass, and G chord. When I say G, I mean G major. If I don't say anything, it's G major. If I would say anything else, that would be probably a minor or something. So press them separately, press them together, move the bellows about. Next one above, D minor. So both fingers go up. All kinds of experiments with those buttons and with the bellow. Okay, let's go up, above. Same fingers go up above to another minor chord, A minor. Let's go one button up, that's the last one for today, and that's the E minor. And together, great. Now we're going to connect the right hand to the left hand. We're going to experiment by randomly playing only the white notes. So any fingers we want, can do it with one finger. But of course we want to have more fingers moving, so I will start improvising in a simple way on the right hand and show you the idea. Okay, I can also cross over with the third finger. And I can also choose just to play with two fingers. I can choose to play with three fingers. And I can do the same thing going down. I can do it with two fingers as well, going down. And I can start randomly choosing things. Okay, and I can randomly add the left hand, the C chord, the G chord, the D minor chord, the A minor chord, and the E minor chord. So I press anything on the right hand. And here I press them together. I can also separate them. Let's see how that sounds. So far I only played the E minor. Now I can also switch to the A minor, to any chord that I showed you. I can also switch to the D minor, for instance. And I can switch back to A minor and back to E minor and to C and to G and to D minor I can sometimes press only the chord. I don't have to always press the bass. I can do any tempo I like, fast or slow. I can also play a waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, let's see how it sounds with the right hand. I can do anything I want. And with a chord. Okay? Do anything I want with those chords and with these white notes. Even if it sounds out of tune, it actually does work. So you don't have to change all the time quickly. You can just stay on one chord. You can even choose two chords. For instance, if I choose this one and this one, AM and EM, I can choose only those two chords and do something. I can change the length of how long I stay on each chord. So it just shows you that everything is possible. On the right hand, we're going to start with some long notes. And fiddle around with the different options. Once you're comfortable with the long notes, we can start doing faster notes. Yeah? Okay, two hands together. So you don't have to change all the time. You can change anytime you choose to. And if sometimes you hear anything that sounds out of tune, like this, like I said, it actually does work, because anything can work. But there's a reason why it sounds out of tune. So let's use our ears and find out what could be better than this. Maybe this. It does sound better. That's also good. That's also good. Yeah? So anything here works, anything here works. That is an exercise that is designed to free your mind from thinking. Just experimenting and creating music, okay? Even if it's not perfect. This is what we want. We want not perfect, because we want to experiment, we want to learn, and this is the path we're taking. Okay, so you can get inspired by my examples. I'm going to give you some more examples. Now, in order to make music more interesting, I can play fast notes. And I can play slow notes. Play long notes. Combine them all and insert silence, like silence, silence. We don't have to always look for another note, we can stay on the same note. And the left hand can complement the right hand in any way you like. It could be playing all the time, like really, really busy, and it can also be hardly playing and sometimes doing bam, 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 bam. So you have all kinds of options there for you. Okay, so enjoy your first improvisation exercise, and now I'm going to show you something very important and very interesting. So the chord C, you can actually find it here. It's a combination of 3 notes. So the first note, C, is appearing on the right hand, just here. So this is C, and if you skip and skip again, you have the full chord on the right hand. So if you play it together, sounds good. You can also separate it. So let's try playing the C groove and separating the C chord. Or we can also add the 8th note, which is an octave. So if this is C, this is also C. You see, it looks the same. Because of those 2 black notes, we can recognize that this is a C. And it is the same note, just higher. And that is called an octave. The distance between this and this is an octave. So here we go. With the chord, together we have 4 notes we can use. Great. So now we can try the same thing on G. So the G is here. We can recognize it by playing the 3 blacks. And after the first black, we have a G and the octave is here. And the chord would be jumping, skipping again, and we have the G. And we can separate it or play together. Let's try. How about separating? How about separating the left hand? How about adding the octave? Great. Let's do the same thing on the D minor. So we jump up 1 step and we play a minor chord. And the D minor here is first, what's the D? This is the D between the 2 blacks. Here's another 2 blacks. So that's also a D, and this is the 2 Ds with an octave distance. And skipping will bring us the chord. Skip here and skip here. Okay, left hand plays D minor, together. Separating a bit of this, separating a bit of that. Did you notice that the minor scale sounds a bit different than the major. The minor is a bit more sad. When the other one was more military, circus, and happy, you know. So let's carry on. And the next one is going to be jumping up one step to the A minor. This is a minor, and it's as well a sad scale. So what we play now is actually an arpeggio scale. So we skip again from the A. This is the A. You can recognize it by looking at the 3 black notes, and after the middle black note we have an A, and here we can find the A as well after the 3 black notes. So this is a high A and this is a low A, and that's an octave in between them. Okay, so A skipping to the next note and to the next note gives us the chord that we wanted. This is A minor. Let's play together with the A minor on the bass. Let's separate them a bit. Great. Let's see the last one for today. We go up one more. That's E minor. E minor. Great. What's E minor here? Let's start with E. So this is E. After the 2 blacks, we have an E. And the same on the octave. Great. So E minor means jumping from the first E to the next one and jumping again. So we always skip to get the chord. And we play together with the E minor. Let's separate a bit the left hand and look how short I play. I can sometimes accent the beginning. I can create different combinations. You can do only one bass and carry on with the chord. Anything I like, right? Together with the right hand. So you can go with all these exercises forever, practicing and trying different things. And this is what I am asking you to do. The next thing would be to switch between all the chords and all the keys over here on the right hand. So that's a bit of a difficult exercise. Only when you're ready, take your time and maybe come back next week for this exercise. So here we go. You don't have to play so fast, by the way. I'm just choosing to play fast. I could play slow. And now I change to any chord from the list. We have C, for instance. Then I switch to the other one above it. And then and back to the one below. So there's no rules. I don't have to go all the way up and all the way down. I can just choose from the combinations any chord I like and fit the right hand to my choice. So right now I improvised on the chords on the right hand and on the chords on the left hand, exactly like I showed you in the exercises. I took the exercises and created an improvisation section from this exercise, and it does sound nice, doesn't it? And it just shows you that it works, and it's very simple if you get it. So if you didn't get it, go back to the beginning of the lesson and start all over again until you get it. That's not difficult stuff. Okay, my friends, one more tip and trick for today. So we can choose different fingerings for the chords. So we have the option of starting the bass with the fourth finger, and we have the option of starting the bass with the third finger. Okay, and there's a reason for that. You'll discover this as well. Now, if we start the bass on the fourth finger, then we can play the major chord on the third, or we can play the minor chord on the second, like we already did. And if I start with the third bass, then I can play the major with the second finger, and if I have a minor, I can also play the minor with the same finger. So for instance, if I'm pressing E with the third finger, so E should be marked, and if you're not sure, then just count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you have an E, and that should be marked. So here we go. I want to play the minor, and I'm using the second finger. And if I was to choose the fourth finger, then I would play second and fourth. Okay, so this is the tip and trick for today. So hope you enjoyed my methods. If you want more of this kind of stuff, you can check out my website. My name is Assi Rose. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye for now.